Hi, I'm Matthew Sanchez. I'm a certified financial planner and certified exit planning advisor, and welcome to Multiply Your Millions. Welcome back to the show. Today we're going to talk about a topic that might make some people uncomfortable, and that is what we call the 5 Ds. The 5 Ds are distress, disagreement, death, disability, and divorce. You might be surprised to learn that 79% of business owners have no written transition plan. In fact, only 48% have done any exit planning at all. In the 4 years following an owner's death, sales fall nearly 60% and a fall of employment in about 17%. In fact, roughly 2 years after the death of an owner, companies are 20% more likely to file for bankruptcy. That can severely impact the value of your business. Now, when it comes to distress, I think 2020 is probably going to be the textbook definition of how much your life and business can change in a single year. Distress is a broad topic. It can cover a number of things. It can be disruptions in your productivity. It could be disruptions to your supply chain. It could be disruptions for how you interact with your customers. You might be surprised to learn that roughly 50% of business exits are due to external factors. When it comes to disagreement, not every partnership is sunshine and rainbows. And I think we'd all like it to be, right? But the reality is nothing's perfect. In fact, not all partners even agree with the strategic direction of the business. Do you have a system in place to help figure out how to resolve these conflicts? Death is a topic that can be uncomfortable for many, but the reality is accidents happen. Anytime you turn on the news, you just turn it on, and I'm sure you're going to see a story about how that day somebody tragically lost their life. The reality is it could happen to anyone at any time. So what we really want to understand is, does your family know what to do in the event that something did happen? What does your management team need to know? What happens to the loans? Do all your accounts or life insurance have the proper beneficiaries? You might be really surprised to find the number of issues I come across in estate plans. Just this week, I was talking with an owner, and they told me, hey, I have a trust and everything's good. Everything goes to the trust. And when I actually looked into their plan, their trust is what we call an unfunded trust, meaning in their situation, they went out, had a professional draft their trust, but they never actually put any of their assets in the trust. So they had a piece of paper that said what they would like to have happened, but they never actually implemented that plan. So certainly we got that corrected right away, but it is actually scary how common that is. When it comes to disability, most people think about disability income. And rightfully so. I'm sure that's probably the most common topic that's talked about, especially amongst insurance agents. But it's not just making sure that there's compensation to come in case you can't work. What you want to also think about is what happens if you have a stroke and you're unable to speak, you're unable to write, and you're not able to express to folks what needs to happen. Does your family know what to do? Does your management have an idea of how to operate the business if you're going to be out for an extended period of time? These are really important things that I see on probably more often than I'd like. Another thing to think about is, will this event spring into action certain planning events? Will your shares have to be sold to your other partners in the event that something happens to you? Or vice versa, if something happens to one of your partners and they're unable to perform their obligations, what happens in that situation? These are things you really want to think about and be prepared for. For the married folks out there, divorce is something also that we'll have to think about. Unfortunately, in today's society, roughly 50% of marriages end in divorce. And if you don't think it can happen to you just because you have a successful business, all you need to do is take a look at either Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos, 2 of the richest men on this planet, and that has no guarantee that their marriages were going to succeed. This is a complex topic, but you just want to be prepared for what could happen if that event should arise. Remember, planning is not about what could go right. We want to be prepared for what could go wrong. While some of these topics may be difficult to think or talk about, really think about this from a business perspective and how much more valuable your business will be if you've addressed what happens in the case of these different risks. If you're a glass half full kind of person and really want to see the next level of what exit planning can do for your business, check out the next show where we're going to talk about the 3 main gaps you need to be aware of.